my whole family actually was involved in some sports. My father was a footballer, my mother track and field, all my cousins swimming. So it was easier for me to follow that path as well. When I was 5 years old, I signed up for swimming lessons to learn how to swim. In the end, I discovered that swimming was my passion. In the water, I felt free, away from the worries of everyday life, like diabetes stuff and all that. Swimming is not just a sport for me, it's also a form of therapy, I can say. I decided to follow the path of competitive swimming, which required hard work and dedication. Balancing my blood sugar levels while swimming is definitely challenging, but it's all about the preparation and monitoring. I always check my blood sugar before training or competition to make sure it's in safe range, like 20 minutes before. If I'm a little below, like below 100, maybe I will drink something. Over 140, maybe take insulin. So I keep glucose tablets or snack everywhere, like everywhere. I also monitor.
Welcome to Global Diabetes Insights, your go-to podcast for navigating the world of diabetes. I am Tino, a certified diabetes educator and a global advocate for non-communicable diseases.
And I'm Kona, a global advocate and a medical doctor. Together, we're your hosts, dedicated to raising awareness, fostering open discussions, and creating a safe space for everyone affected by diabetes.
Join us as we dive into empowering conversations with individuals living with diabetes, caregivers, healthcare professionals, and researchers. Our goal is to not only guide you through effective diabetes management, but also to inspire advocacy for proper healthcare access.
So get ready for a journey of insights, ideas, and diverse perspectives. Let's amplify our collective voice and create positive change. Get involved, get engaged, and join us in creating the change we need. So welcome everybody to Global Diabetes Insights. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Global Diabetes Insights. Together we have with us our first Greek Cypriot guest and I'm very happy for that. I met Stephanie in Yourah camp organized by IDF this summer 2024. Since then we've been involved to many activities together, so it's a pleasure to have her with us. First of all, I would like you to introduce yourself. Who are you? What are you doing with your life?
Hello, my name is Stephanie. I am 21 years old and I am from Cyprus. I'm currently in my fourth year at the University of Nicosia studying pharmacy. I have been living with type 1 diabetes since I was 2 years old, in total 19 years, and I'm also a competitive swimmer. I have had the privilege of representing my country in international competitions and have earned several medals and national records along that way.
I know you're very active and you're very shy about how much you have achieved, but let's start from diabetes. Can you share your journey? Because I know that you were diagnosed at a very young age.
That's true. I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes when I was just 2 years old. I don't really remember much from the time before my diagnosis, but my family tells me it was a difficult journey at the start. Managing diabetes from such a young age meant that it became a normal part of my life, measuring my blood sugar every day, taking my insulin and all that. Over the years, I learned to adapt to daily routines and challenges, and I've always had a strong support system. My family and doctors, diabetes community have played a big role in helping me manage it. It's been a continuous learning process. I have grown stronger in dealing with this condition.
Personally, I was diagnosed at 10 years old. I don't remember much of how life was without diabetes, but I do remember living without diabetes. In contrast with you, that you haven't lived the day without diabetes that you remember. So how it is like to be given that your life status is like this, living with diabetes, and not remembering how it is like to not measure your blood sugar or thinking about lows and highs, all these diabetes related thoughts and decisions.
I said that I don't have any memories of life without diabetes, but in some ways I feel like I've always been part of who I am, because I can imagine a life without the routines of checking my blood sugar, taking insulin, eat something by midnight, and I want to eat everything when I'm super low and all that, or even managing my diet. When you're a teenager, you have to adjust your insulin, take more insulin because of the hormones and all that. But at the same time, I learned to live it in a way that doesn't define me entirely. It's just a part of my daily life. I adapt it as best as I can.
Knowing you in personal, I know that there's another aspect of you that maybe defines you more than diabetes. I know that you're a professional swimmer. I want you to first take us through how swimming entered your life, how you manage your blood sugar while competing or while practicing while swimming.
My whole family actually was involved in some sports. My father was a footballer, my mother track and field, all my cousins swimming. So it was easier for me to follow that path as well. When I was 5 years old, I signed up for swimming lessons to learn how to swim. In the end, I discovered that swimming was my passion. In the water, I felt free, away from the worries of everyday life, like diabetes stuff and all that. Swimming is not just a sport for me, it's also a form of therapy, I can say. I decided to follow the path of competitive swimming, which required hard work and dedication. Balancing my blood sugar levels while swimming is definitely challenging, but it's all about the preparation and monitoring. I always check my blood sugar before training or competition to make sure it's in safe range, like 20 minutes before. If I'm a little below, like below 100, maybe I will drink something. Over 140, maybe take insulin. So I keep glucose tablets or snack everywhere, like everywhere. I also monitor how my body responds to exercise and adjust my insulin and food intake accordingly, because when I was younger, it was different. Now it's different. So I have to adjust it every day.
Has diabetes ever stopped you or act as an obstacle to achieve something in sports?
Never, never. When I was pre-teenager, it was the most difficult part of my life because the hormones was upside down, like more difficult than when I was teenager. I remember twice in a week, I was over 600 and I went home. I was laying in my bed and I was like, I can't do anything because I'm super high. And I was crying. I was like, I love swimming, so I can't live without it. Midnight, my blood sugar was 100, 107. And I was like, yes, I can eat. I went downstairs to eat something. So yeah, but never stopped me do anything I like.
Congratulations for managing it despite being difficult to not stop you from chasing your dreams. Coming to sports, people living with diabetes usually thrive in what they choose to do, as people without diabetes do. But sports, a tricky domain because all people living with diabetes have a common fear, the fear of hypos. And what can lead to hypos is exercising, more specific, intense exercise can more easily lead to a hypo. How do you experience that fear, if it exists in your case? And what piece of advice would you give to living expertise who are afraid of doing sports for that specific reason?
Definitely a concern for many people with diabetes, especially during exercise. Like I remember you don't like exercise because like I will be hypo. I was walking all day and I'm hypo now. I know that it can be scary, especially if it happened during rains or a long train session, like walking. But the fear is real. Over time, I learned to listen to my body and make sure to always have something with me to treat a hypo quickly. Especially, I prefer juice. So every week, my mother tries a different brand or flavor of juice. I learned to adjust my training and my nutrition accordingly. This process told me the importance of planning. And my advice to those who fear hypos is to remember that exercise is still incredibly beneficial for your health in general. So be prepared, test your blood sugar regularly, and don't let your fear of hypos stop you from being active. It's about finding balance and getting to know your body. But here, I want to mention that it's not only the hypos, it's also the hyperglycemia. hypoglycemia, because as a diabetic person who is using the insulin pump as a treatment, I have to disconnect my pump for 2 hours approximately every day. So that means that I will not have my sensor or my basal insulin with me. So one of the biggest challenges of hyper is that effects on performance as hypos effects too. Like when you have hypo, you will feel tired, without energy and all that. But when your blood sugar is high, you may feel anxious, fatigued, angry, and unable to push yourself to the limit. In my case, I am angry and it's good. My coach said that it's good, but yeah. Also, I know that hyper can cause dehydration, because high blood sugar makes your kidneys work harder to flush out excess glucose. So it can leave the feeling of drain and leads to muscle cramps, which is the last thing you need in the middle of your race. As a type 1 diabetic high performance athlete, it's crucial to remember that it's not only about avoiding hypoglycemia. Hyperglycemia is just as dangerous. It's important to stay vigilant about blood sugar levels, but not just for peak performance, but for overall health and safety. Managing both highs and lows allows me to swim at my best while keeping my body in check.
I would say one thing, that we were roommates in an event recently. We will say that later. Me as a person with fear of lows, and Stephanie as a person who usually has lows. We had run out of juice for one night. We had only one juice for both of us. Luckily, no one needed it. But then out of fear, we just bought together 12 boxes of juice just in case. And we had them in our room. Yeah, that was that was an irony. I'm getting serious. I want to congratulate you because I know how much you're achieving in your daily life. I know how much you struggle and you try not to let things get you down. You try to find the balance and being active in everything that you wish, in everything that you choose. Keeping in touch with your feelings is like a tool that you will use for the rest of your life, diabetes-wise and no diabetes-wise as well. So I'm very happy for the message that you are giving out and that you represent what you're saying, because you're not only giving advices, you use the advice that you give in yourself firsthand.
Thank you for your kind words. Also, I want to mention something from our trip. Was like the next morning we went to the supermarket to take a pack of 6 juice to have it with us. And yeah, it was a little funny backstory. To be honest, without diabetes, I don't know who I will be. I think it's the positive side of being a diabetic person.
Recently, we both attended Yourah Young Leadership Camp in Serbia and then the Yourah Forum in Brussels. You were the only Cypriot representative. It was an honor for me meeting you and the other participants as well. I feel that we created a really strong bond and that we shared sensitive parts of ourselves. How do you feel as Cypriot representative on the field of diabetes, regarding your age that you are quite young?
Thank you. I'm incredibly honored and proud to represent Cyprus in these big forums. I cannot describe my feelings about these camps, amazing experiences, and I recommend to all young people experience it at least once in their life. It's taught me so many things that I want to use to help young diabetics and the Cyprus Diabetes Association, of course, with various events, and I already helped in some. Before the camp in Serbia especially, I felt scared.
All of them.
Yeah. Aside from traveling alone for the first time, I didn't know anyone. The thought of spending a week with strangers who would only speak English terrified me. And then I met you and Nicholas speaking
And we broke
Greek.
the English part.
Yeah, true. The only thing that we had in common were we all had a chronic autoimmune disease, diabetes, that we were all passionate about helping those around us for a better future with diabetes. We were there to learn and gain experience. I can't find the right words to describe the amazing feelings I had that week. I still feel right now how a group of strangers become a family. Only in just 1 week. We shared old memories when we were younger. We laughed, we cried a lot. And we became a family, and still today speaking like every day, once a week. Good. I'm so grateful for this journey and would like to thank the Cyprus Diabetes Association, of course, for this opportunity. I feel a strong responsibility to represent not just myself, but also other young people with diabetes in my country. And it's been an inspiring experience, and I'm excited about the future of diabetes advocacy.
I totally agree with you. I also encourage every person that is thinking about joining this year camp to join, to overpass that stress and fear that they might feel about joining a camp of strangers. IDF works so well on building this warm atmosphere between its participants, combining everyone in such a creative way that no one feels left out or alone, and everyone is included with respect to their values, their ethnicity, their personality. It's something that it cannot be described. People who have not joined feel that the future is bright and that you have to do a lot more.
I want to add something. Like, I remember the first night that we went to Serbia, especially. We were in a circle.
So following the projects and IDF, I want you to take us through the landscape of diabetes in Cyprus. How it is like to be a person living with diabetes in Cyprus in terms of accessibility, education, stigma, or whatever you experience and you like to share with us.
Diabetes care in Cyprus has its ups and downs. On the one hand, healthcare services are generally accessible, like in their good coverage for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes treatments, like insulins, monitoring equipment, and other supplies are available at affordable prices. Most hospitals in Cyprus are equipped to handle diabetes management. On the other hand, needs improvement in diabetes education. While healthcare provides and offers like basic information, there are clear lack of community outreach and awareness programs that could help people with diabetes better manage their condition. For example, it's not always easy to find a diabetes educator on provide practical tips for managing blood sugar during exercise, particularly for athletes. This results in people not fully understanding how diabetes works, which can lead to a lot of confusion and frustration or those living with this condition. The stigma surrounding diabetes is something that many people with type 1 still face because type 1 diabetes is not as common and is less understood. There's a widespread that diabetes is a lifestyle disease. It's about overweight and unhealthy stuff and all that. And this stigma can affect how comfortable people feel discussing their diabetes in public, leading the feelings of isolation. 2 weeks ago, I went to work for promotion and I had my pump in my jeans and someone told me, "Oh, you have the pump." And I was like, "You know what pump is?" And he was like, "Yes, I have the same thing." I was like, "Wow." Yeah, and I'm also working in a pharmacy store. Like 6 of 10 people will come and have type 2 diabetes. Everyone will come with type 1. And I was like, "Yeah, you have type 1. How are you? How are you feeling?"
The instant connection.
Yeah, and we exchange Instagrams and all that. I am actually speaking with 2 people with type 1 diabetes, and I discovered them with my pharmacy store and all that. And yeah.
That's great. There is always room for improvement, also in Greece and in many other countries, but that doesn't mean that we cannot see the progress or feel happy about the things that we have been achieved before us or through our period. Connecting with other people living with diabetes is also something thoughtful and refreshing. People who usually are okay with diabetes seek other people to just connect and feel understood. There is so much to learn from how other people see diabetes and how they manage it or what they have experienced. Before closing and thanking you, I would like you to share if you have any plans or project for the future concerning diabetes.
In the future, I hope to continue advocating for diabetes awareness, particularly for young people with type 1 diabetes. The Cyprus Diabetes Association has asked me to lead a new program they want to start with the goal of bringing young diabetics back to the association. It will be quite challenging task. I don't know yet how to start, but I hope we will achieve our goal.
You have a
Also,
pool of people to ask for advice if you want, you know that.
yeah, I know. So I would like to get more involved in educational programs to help people understand the condition better. And I'm also passionate about supporting other athletes with diabetes, of course, because it's my thing. I plan to continue my studies in pharmacy, and I would love to use my knowledge to help improve diabetes care and treatments. Ultimately, I want to inspire others with diabetes to lead fulfilling lives and not let the condition hold them back. There is a lot of potential for improvement in care, and I'm excited to be part of this change.
You will definitely be part of this change. I see the potential in your actions. I see that you're a learner and you absorb the things that you see and then you just put them in action. And that's so important. The cultivation of your character and the aspects you have and you carry is so important because you're breaking one of the greatest stigma of all people living with diabetes, which is about sports. I had my master's yesterday, as you know, and we were just discussing, we have a specific subject about diabetes and exercise, how to convince people with diabetes to risk an exercise despite the fear of hypoglycemia, or how to manage an incident of hypoglycemia without discouraging people to continue to do sports. In your field, in your domain, there is so much to be done, not only from the patient side, but also from trainer side, doctor side, provider side. There is so much to be learned and so much stigma to be broken. As a new doctor, I can say, okay, a diabetes athlete or someone who has diabetes and exercises has a hypo. So what? I mean, okay, drink some juice, recover, and then just keep doing. It's not that big of a deal. I want to thank you for being here. I want to wish the best of luck to your journey. I know we're gonna meet soon, no matter when or how. I think the only thing that went wrong while knowing you is that you forgot your tablet in the airport and you realized it just some seconds before boarding. I think that's the greatest sprint you've ever run in your life. That's something I'll never forget. I haven't seen you yet competing. I'm sure I will, but I know you're a great sprinter. I mean, she ran literally through the whole airport to get back and find her tablet.
Actually, my best friend is here and she was like, again. Thank you for the opportunity to speak about my personal life with type 1 diabetes and involving sports. And I hope, and I'm sure we'll talk and meet again somehow. And I really want to see a picture of you running or do something else.
I will
included.
post it and I will tag you. It's a promise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie. If you want to keep one message from this recording, is join the Yourah camp this year.
Yeah.
So take care, Stephanie. Take care, everyone. And thank you.
You too. Thank